Hey guys, welcome back. It is your favorite Gimp with a Limp, and I'm here with kind of an update of sorts. I've got a special guest with me while Mommy's putting the others to bed. I need you to stay quiet. You were quiet up until we started filming. Yes, you were, and now you're loud. This is a problem. Okay, so to make a long story short, the Everrain came in, all right? I'd been waiting on this. I'd made a video way back when called When Will It Ever Rain? And I've got them pulled up here. And I had something that happened that was rather unusual. Now, a bunch of videos I've put up talking about Quartermaster logistics, talking about Grimlord games, talking about issues that were happening. Now, I'm not blaming Quartermaster logistics, but they did have something kind of interesting recently. And what I'd heard about was this. Blacklist Miniatures Fan Series 1. We talked about this before. They had this whole big dramatic hubbub where the people who had paid for it, similar instance where the company went out of business and they ended up paying for some shipping, but not all the shipping. And Quartermaster was stuck with these products sitting in their warehouse for like a year. Now, from what I've heard, what ultimately ended up happening is that these people were able to pay a fee to Quartermaster to get their products because the company itself was the company was never going to deliver. They just weren't. They were never going to pay them. It wasn't doing Quartermaster any good, and it wasn't doing the people any good. They wanted to get their stuff. I can understand that, but evidently the Everrain had something similar that happened. So I was in the hospital for a period of time, right? And I was in the hospital when this update.
Kennedy, I love
you. Yay! Say good night. I love you. Okay, so to get back into it, now my little girl's gone to bed. I was in the hospital and I had missed the update. Now, I was a late backer for the Everrain, so I wasn't getting update emails regularly anyway. I had to check every now and then. And these people had the same BS excuse of, oh, we're waiting on this, we're waiting on a tax rebate, because they pulled the same scummy shit where they paid for shipping for some parts of the world, but not North America. So Canada, the US, I think Mexico and other areas. Anywhere over here, they didn't pay for us. They used our money to pay for the rest of the world because shipping costs had gone up because these people were years late in delivering. Like, God knows how late. I think they were like 4 years late on delivering. But they used our money and they said they were waiting on a rebate from the UK government to pay the shipping cost for us. And I knew then that's a load. That's not going to happen, okay? So they ended up putting out a Quartermaster logistics shipping option that allowed people to pay a fee, an extra fee, because I knew this was going to happen, where some of us were going to get screwed because there's going to be this shipping charge left over. And rather than having all backers have to pay $5, $8, $10, it was going to be down to a small section of backers who were going to have to pay $20, $30 to get their product because they used our money for others. And those others sure as hell aren't going to pitch in to get us our stuff because they've already got their stuff. And I was like, you mother. So that's what they did. Thing is I had sent an email to Quartermaster, and I'd been in contact with Quartermaster. I've been in contact with Grimlord. I've been blasting them a few times. And what's interesting is this, like I said, it all happened while I was in the hospital. So I never got this information, but my pledge showed up anyway. I never paid. Okay? I never paid the extra fee. I think it's like $25 or some odd crap to have it shipped. So now, Quartermaster, they don't know me. They don't know me from Adam. I told them who I was. I was going to be doing a video on the topic, and they basically gave me the business runaround, which is we're not going to talk about it or our customers or which, that's fine. And again, I don't blame Quartermaster because they're this middleman that's kind of stuck in a shitty position that other companies are putting them in because we're mad at Quartermaster because the Quartermaster has our stuff, but Quartermaster gets paid to ship crap. And if they get crap, but they don't get paid, then they just get shit on along with us. So I'm not really blaming them. But this is the third time now I've seen this option pop up. And I don't like this. But I'm wondering, was I sent mine without paying because they would hope it would keep me quiet? Is that why they did that? Or did I luck out? Was I just slipped through the cracks? Or were bunches of people forgotten and just missed? What happened? Now, I'm really hoping that it wasn't a case of them trying to appease me to keep me quiet by not charging me. So like, hey, let's just send this guy his stuff and maybe he won't make a video on it. I really hope it's not. And I kind of doubt that it is that, because my reach just isn't that big. I'm rather well known in the wargamer circle, but the wargamer circle is small, and this isn't a war game. This is Ameritrash type shit. So in that circle, I'm unknown, right? So I'm not leaning that way. Is it possible? Yes. I don't think it is. I think it's something else. Maybe I got lucky and slipped through the cracks. Maybe they're paying for some. My problem with all this is the fact that this is the third time at least that I've seen it happen, where, and it's probably more than that now that I think about it, because there's another one niggling at the back of my mind saying that another company pulled this where, hey, pay us a little more or you can get your stuff. You might have to wait, because Everrain's done this now. Darkest Dungeons did it, and Fantasy Series 1, whatever, the minis, they've done it. Now, I understand why Quartermaster did it in the Blacklist miniatures. I understand this one because those people aren't going to get their stuff otherwise. But I don't like companies being able to do this, because now other companies can kind of look at that and go, shipping charges $400,000, $500,000, depending on the size of the Kickstarter, obviously, but that's a good chunk of change. It's 50 grand we can put in our pocket. We can just say, shit happens. It's COVID. It's this. It's that. It's whatever. Pay us a little more and we'll get it to you. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait. We'll just get it to you when we can. There's still people waiting on their Darkest Dungeon, as far as I know. Still waiting on Darkest Dungeon, but they're selling it at retail. I hope to God they're using that retail money to pay for whatever shipping charges, whatever else that they got to pay for, which they would have to be, because otherwise they're going to be incurring storage fees from companies like Quartermaster. I don't remember which one Darkest Dungeon used to ship it. Probably was Quartermaster. They're one of the biggest ones. Fun Again has gone out of business. They're finishing up and they're closing shop. So Quartermaster is going to be even larger than it was. My whole thing is I don't want this to continue. These companies, okay, we all went through a bad learning curve where they figured out the hard way that you don't want to charge shipping upfront. You want to charge that at the back end. Yes, it sucks. You have to collect at one point, and then a year later, year and a half later, whatever, you're collecting again to cover that shipping charge. Right now, that's probably the best solution we have to ensure that an accurate amount of shipping is paid, so these companies can't turn around and say, well, we know you already paid us, but we don't have enough now, so pay us again. Or we spent your money on someone else, so sorry, if you want it, you're going to have to pay again. They don't, but you do, like the Everrain did. Even though I didn't have to pay, which, I mean, yeah, I'm grateful for it. You know, the pledge came in. It's great and all. But I backed this game back in the heyday of Kickstarter, when I used to back a Kickstarter every month or two, you know, because they didn't cost a fortune and they actually delivered. But the Everrain was one of the worst I've had when it came to delivery. I never actually expected to get it, to be honest with you. I never really thought it would actually show up, but it did show up and I didn't have to pay the extra. But I'm wondering how many people did pay the extra. And I know I had to pay the extra when it came to Darkest Dungeon. And there are still people waiting on that. The people who paid for Fantasy Series 1 minis, they had to pay extra to get it. So is this going to continue? Are we going to see more and more in this? Or company's going to start turning around and going, we're defunct when it's time to pay. Your stuff's at Quartermaster. Talk to them. Maybe they'll get it to you a year or two from now. You'll have to pay them like $30 though or so to get it. But it's fine. We got ours. Kickstarter's going to have to do something. Don't know what it is. They know that they've effectively become a pre-order system. It's not what Kickstarter was originally designed for, right? And that's fine. It's become its own thing. So many people go to Kickstarter now. Not as much for video games. They used to be popular for comic books, but they pissed all over that. And board games is their big thing now. Board game related items like tables. But there's got to be some type of accountability, because right now Kickstarter just doesn't have any teeth. It just doesn't. There's nothing they can do. You're effectively told, well, the nature of the beast. You're pledging into something. You're investing in something. If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's like, in theory, yes, it is that, but it is all but. It's a pre-order system, but in name. I mean, that's effectively what it is. It's a pre-order system, especially for how we use it. Hell, I know some companies because I talk to them. They use it that way specifically for that purpose. So they know how many copies of a game that they have to make. They'll order, X amount to cover the backers, X amount to cover a little bit of retail after, and they're good. That way they don't order 5,000 copies when they need 4,000. They're able to get more accurate numbers. That's great. Cool. Perfect. Great. Glad it works for you. I don't like it when we're getting charged twice for the same crap. The shipping that we've already paid. And like I said, this is at least the third time that I've seen it pop up. I hope it wasn't an appeasement, the fact that I didn't have to pay for it. If it was, they screwed up because I'm still talking about them anyway. But I mean, like I said, I'm such a small YouTuber. I'm really only known in the wargaming circles, and this isn't a war game. I really doubt it's that. I'm kind of hoping that I slip through the cracks and they've got other people slipping through the cracks, because this is horseshit. As long as people have waited on this game, which is mediocre at best. Anyway, after just poking through the rules, I mean, I don't even want to play it on camera because I don't want to show like anything that advertises for these people. I mean, Grimlord, they might as well close their doors. They've got so much bad blood for the way they handled all this. Anyway, I kind of wanted to update you guys, let you know what the deal was, let you know what had happened, kind of catch up on all this. It's been a lot of drama as far as what's going on with Quartermaster, what's going on with the Everrain. We got to figure something out. I mean, not us personally, but as far as Kickstarter, Quartermaster, these shipping companies, and then the companies that are actually publishing the games, they've got to just tweak it a little bit. If all the tweak is charging shipping at the end, right before they ship, okay, that's fine. It's an irritation, but it's one we can live with. That way we know it's been paid, they've been paid, Quartermaster's been paid, and everything can flow friggin' smoothly instead of us getting hit for, double charges. I mean, at least it's not having to pay for the game again. I've seen that a couple of times where people have, like the Evil Dead 2, they didn't pay for it twice, but it took them forever. Although I have to give that company props. The one that did actually publish the game that made sure the original backers got it. Anyway, I'll stop ranting. If you actually back the Everrain, definitely let me know. If you paid the charge, right? If you paid this little reminder about this Quartermaster shipping option, put that down below. Let me know how that worked. And especially if you didn't pay that charge, because I'm curious if there's anyone else out there besides me who didn't have to pay to get their pledge sent to them. Really want to figure that one out. All right, but that's going to be it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Y'all take care. I'll catch you in the next one.